Whole sports all plays. Yeah. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays. Yeah.
What it do, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is your boy, Uncle Motherfucking Pride, here with Sis and Mike. How y'all feeling today?
Vibing.
Wonderful. Just want y'all to see that y'all are on my big screen TV right here. I don't know if y'all can see it,
famous.
but
I'm on El Televisión.
we big screen.
So,
big screen.
So, we got
Just
a
letting y'all
great
know.
show for y'all today. We see it, Sis. Look, we got a great show for y'all today. Kyrie might be coming back. Who knows? We talk about LeBron James because he fucking deserves it. And then Odell and Baker, they're apart, but they will forever be linked. But before we get to all that,
brothers,
I told y'all this. There was a take I had percolating in my mind right now. Hear me out when I say this. I know I sound crazy for saying this, but every single time, so it's confirmation bias.
We've done this before.
We have. We went on this road before, but this one I'm not that married to the idea. So I just want to hear out what other people think, because the more I say it, the wilder I get. I feel like so we all know how the San Francisco 49ers, they don't really fuck with Jimmy G no more, right?
No.
Trey Lance ain't ready.
Well, I don't know if they don't fuck with him, but go on.
Well, they just kind of don't trust him as much as they did in the beginning. Is that easy?
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Okay, so with that being said, and obviously, Trey Lance is not ready, right? We're gonna go for it. And by the way, for other people saying, "Oh, how do you know he's not ready?" If he's not ready, Jimmy G wouldn't be playing. Let's just throw that shit out there right fucking now. Because why is Ben Roethlisberger still playing? Why is he still playing? If Mason Rudolph was ready, if Dwayne Haskins was ready, Ben would not be playing. Let's call it what it is.
Hold on, bro. I missed your take.
I haven't gotten into it yet, sis.
Oh,
I haven't
okay.
gotten into it.
Cool.
So a lot of people keep saying, "Oh, well, how do you know?" Because I put this on TikTok, and there's this one kid who was like, "Oh, how do you know? Are you within the 49ers organization?" And I'm like, I don't have to be. Because Jimmy Garoppolo at best is average. And if you moved up to trade and you got Trey Lance, why the fuck isn't he starting?
Right.
But here's what I believe. I believe wholeheartedly they're gonna try to go get Aaron Rodgers. They already tried. So for all the people who are saying, "Oh, they won't do it," you're an idiot, right? They're gonna try to get Aaron Rodgers. I believe that's gonna fail. They're gonna try to get Russ. I believe that's gonna fail. They're gonna try to wait for Deshaun, and it's not gonna work. Am I wild for saying this? I genuinely believe the 49ers are going to risk it and are going to bring Ben Roethlisberger in for a year. Am I wild for thinking that?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
You too, sis? You think I'm bugging for thinking that?
Yeah. I think so.
You think I'm bugging?
Yeah.
Not Ben. Ben.
You could make a case for anybody else, not Ben.
Ben.
What time?
But Ben, I don't see Ben. They don't. They need a legit quarterback.
Yeah, well, you said what team will trade for Jimmy? Well, I genuinely believe there are a couple teams who would do it. I believe the Lions would do it. I believe Broncos would do it if things don't pan out for them. You know what I mean? If they try to go get some guys, you know what I mean? Like if it doesn't work, maybe they'll.
Broncos have Jimmy though. They just have it in the form of Teddy.
Well, we also got to remember they don't really vibe with Teddy like that. They're treating him like he's just a bridge guy. You know what I mean?
I mean that's the same thing you would treat Jimmy as.
Well, I mean, we also got to remember this is the Broncos organization who will probably just they'll reach on him. You know what I mean?
I think
the Texans maybe.
Yeah,
I think there's a few teams. I mean, shit. Don't be surprised if the Giants, if they don't get Russ, if they go in that Jimmy G sweepstakes. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough one. It really is. I think Washington looks like they could go after Jimmy.
I thought that, but I think they like Taylor Heinicke now. I think they fucking with Taylor a little too much now.
No, I'm fucking with Taylor too, but you need a better backup than Fitzmagic. So I would go the Jimmy route, at least as a competition standpoint, because Fitzmagic isn't doing anything. I'm not even gonna call him that. Fitzpatrick, you lost that title. But no, I think what you're saying like definitely makes sense. Bringing in a veteran quarterback who's on his last leg, just trying to get somewhere while you're floating around with the Trey Lance thing. But if I wanted to see dog shit, the way I want to see it is at least a 22-year-old who has 0 NFL experience, because I know there's something to build off of that potentially. With Big Ben being dog shit, that's just dog shit. Like point blank. Like, why am I watching this? Why am I looking at this? With Trey Lance can't make the throw. He's going to run a good 20, 30 yards. Big Ben can't make the throw. He's going to break his elbow and then fumble the ball, which is going to be returned as a fumble recovery for a touchdown, probably 90 yards, to what we've been seeing all season long. So I wouldn't take that chance on Big Ben.
Okay.
Not that it's a bad take. I just think why? Like, you know what I mean? Like I would.
And for the why, what I personally, this is kind of what it is for me. When I say this, I'm not saying that if they do it, Ben Roethlisberger is taking them to the promised land. You know what I mean? Right. But I do think Ben Roethlisberger, in terms of when we're talking about, when we're talking about Trey Lance, I believe Ben Roethlisberger can teach Trey Lance more than Jimmy Garoppolo can.
I don't think Ben could teach him a single thing about football.
You don't think so?
Not a single thing. They are not even close to being the same intangibles of a player.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about easier way to read defenses, to pick, what Brian Hoyer does for Mac Jones, where he he goes up to me and goes, "Hey, do you saw that?" That's what I'm saying.
But that's not Ben. Ben could give a fuck.
So you don't think Ben will do that?
Truly, I don't think Ben does that. Ben could give a fuck. Ben has that ego about him.
I agree with that.
Ben is above all that.
Damn, you don't think so? Real quick, you don't know who you have until you play him, meaning Trey. Bears didn't play Justin, and now look at him shining. That's different. Because from the if I'm not mistaken,
look at him
from the beginning. I think he just means like Justin. He looks good. He looks good. Mm-hmm. I think that was like a metaphor. You're saying that he looks good. My thing is though, you can't say that when the guy you have is average, and they're treating you, who's supposed to be the franchise quarterback,
right? They're
treating you like the Saints treat Taysom Hill.
No, but the reason Trey isn't playing right now, and if I could speak to it,
not good.
No, I think the reason Trey's not playing right now is because Trey didn't play his final year of college. He chose to opt out. He did not play. I believe he played like 2 games, if that, and then the COVID thing happened, so he didn't play at all, in 2020. So that's definitely a big part of it. You can't just not play college ball for a year and then enter the NFL and take all these snaps. Because look at Trevor. Look at Trevor Lawrence. He played the majority of every single game the last 4 years, and he looks like shit. Look at Justin Fields. He's getting banged up. He can't read these defenses. He played every game at Ohio State. You're looking at Mac Jones. He won a fucking national championship, and even at times, he's only throwing the ball 3 fucking times a game. Like that
was only one game. Don't do that. That was only one game. No,
I hear you, but with a rookie, you have to be very careful. So to throw a guy in who hasn't played a game of football in over a year was a huge mistake from the jump. And that's why you just see him in these very few wildcat type plays. Even Kyle Shanahan goes out there and says, we're not going to throw this kid out there to the wolves because we understand he needs a minute to learn. Patrick Mahomes played 2 games his rookie year, and it was garbage.
I think it's last 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. And it was garbage time. So it looks like it from that perspective, and you have to say, it's not that Patrick Mahomes wasn't ready. It's that they had an instilled plan into how they were going to do this, because the school Patrick Mahomes was coming from isn't a Big Ten school in that regard of we're playing against legitimate talent. He'll be ready for the NFL. So you let him sit for a year. You let him figure stuff out. And I think Trey Lance looks like the worst quarterback out of this draft if he plays this year, just because of the fact that he hadn't played in so long. I mean, I'm sure he's doing drills and stuff, but it's not the same.
He's not ready. That's what I'm saying.
Right. It's not. No, but I hear what you're saying. It's not that he's not ready. It's that you're going to put him in a position to fail because of the lack of experience in the last year. I think if you start the season next year, I think they're all
saying the same thing I'm saying. He's not ready.
No, right, but
you know what I mean? Like,
right,
it doesn't matter which way you cut it. Well, he's not good either.
No, but
I'm talking about right now.
Let's be
and
real,
the reason he's not good, was because he just wasn't able, like you said, that last year that he took off, he just wasn't able to,
right. But the way
it
came across with you saying, like, I compare it to Jordan Love and Trey Lance. Trey Lance is not NFL ready. He's ready athletically.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the NFL level.
But Jordan Love is just dog shit.
No. But that's why I didn't say Trey Lance is dog shit.
No, but that's how it kind of started to come.
No, but if I think a guy's dog shit, I don't say he's not ready.
Right.
I just say he's dog shit.
Right.
If you ask me what I think about Trevor Siemian,
no, I know. Shit. I was just because you made the Taysom Hill comparison and
but I'm just saying that's how they use him right now.
No, right.
You know what I mean? Like they use him right now the same way the Saints do. And my thing is, if that's your franchise quarterback and you feel like he's ready, you're not doing that.
Right. Yeah. I
know what I mean?
Big Ben of all people. Being real, I'd want a Cam Newton or an RG3 or something along those lines before I wanted a Big Ben, just because he's not going to teach you anything. Sis, I think you're muted.
Okay. No, I was agreeing with you, Mike. I just feel like that, like Mike was saying, Ben Roethlisberger is not. He doesn't strike me as a teacher. He kind of just is one of those guys. And I mean, even Aaron Rodgers really ain't a teacher either, because they're so self-centered. Yeah, they're so self-centered, and it's like it's about me, and I want to be the guy, and I got to be the. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that would be good for a young quarterback, just because to have somebody so egotistical. Like, how do you learn from that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, fuck Zach Wilson too, but that's.
Oh no, I know. Awesome real shit. Zach Wilson should not have been drafted. I don't know what the Jets saw. Maybe they seen something, but
that's something I get hate from the old white men in the room. Where Mike, you're white too. Why are you saying that? But everyone saw a white boy ball out a couple times and then had his draft stock raised, just like Mitchell Trubisky. But that's neither here nor there.
Oh, talk, Mike.
Justin Fields dropped for what? A medical condition that never had any problem with it in college or high school. But that is what it is. We're going to sit here and pretend like Deshaun Watson wasn't a national champion and Mitchell Trubisky went number 2. But that's neither here nor there.
All I'm saying is this.
Mike has things to say.
I don't think it's as crazy as people think. And that's all I'm saying. And again, I'm just saying that at worst he's like their plan D. You know what I mean?
Don't even think, dude. But like I said, probably like,
go ahead.
Wouldn't you just rather watch Trey get experience than watch Big Ben? No, but if Big Ben isn't a part of your future, why give a fuck?
Kind of the same thing as you're getting a cheaper dude. You know what I mean?
It's not cheaper though.
Compared to Jimmy Garoppolo, fuck
no,
yeah.
But what I'm saying is but Jimmy's not in this situation. Jimmy's not on the team in this situation. So it's just Trey Lance on a rookie deal.
Right, he will get traded. Right. And like I said,
so then why have Ben? Why sign Ben when you can just play Trey?
Because he's not ready at all.
And I would rather have you gain experience than just some random.
But this is something that he needs experience for. You know what I mean?
No, I hear
the issues he has is, like, for instance, Justin Fields.
Right.
They were NFL ready. Right. In terms of what they need to do, they already did everything they needed to learn. So now you need to move up to the next level and then get experience. Right.
Right.
Trey Lance wasn't in that situation. He wasn't.
He did ball out though. He did ball out in college.
Yeah, but even then, there were times where people were saying, "Bro, this is like before the whole COVID year thing." People were saying this dude is still not legit. Right. He balled out, sure, but he was relying on a lot of the athleticism of the teammates around him. Kind of how people look at Bryce Young a little bit this year, right? Everyone's like, look, we like Bryce, but there's a lot of times that he misread a play, he flung the ball up, and it was his receiver's job to kind of bail him out, so to speak, you know?
I will say, though, it's a little bit different of Alabama's situation because, I mean, Trey Lance went to North Dakota State. I can't tell you one fucking player that plays on North Dakota State, and that's no shot. I'm just saying.
That's true. No, I feel you. But I'm just saying that was the perception of him at the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? And my thing is, me personally, if you go up for a guy, drafting a guy high doesn't necessarily mean you need to play him every single time.
Right.
That's true.
You know what I mean? That's kind of my whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, and my thing is again, the caveat I have is no other quarterbacks go. And when you bring Big Ben in, you tell him, look, bro, you need to help nurture this kid.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I just don't think Ben does that shit.
I don't know. I think he does. I think he does if the team tells him.
Right.
If the team tells him.
My biggest, if you started this whole thing over and you were like, Mike, Big Ben is going to do this exact same thing you're telling me right now, but for Green Bay, I think it makes a lot more sense because Green Bay has that mentality of we're never going to be losing. We don't want a losing season. We don't want an experience.
But don't you think the Niners are in a win-now situation? Like, I mean, let's be honest. The only reason they've kind of been looking a little bad was because of injuries. If we're gonna be honest,
not really though. Like it just
they're still a few pieces away to me.
Right.
Like, other than just quarterback.
That's the first time I heard that. A lot of people usually believe that there's only two problems that the Niners have been having, and that's injuries and quarterback.
Right.
That kind of really was. You know what I mean?
That's the media's narrative. When I actually look at
I'm talking about fans.
I know, but like a lot of it is when you watch San Francisco media, it's okay. Well, we need to figure out what's wrong with Trey Lance, and the running backs by committee are always injured, and this, and that. But when you really look at the team as a whole, the defense, when you look at that secondary, losing Richard Sherman and not being exactly what you expected him to be longer term, it really just hasn't thrived and me being someone who played in the secondary, I watch those guys and I just feel like they need a little bit more experience back there. I think they're a big liability. Now you have Wagner, obviously, but Justin Fields put Wagner on skates, so he hasn't looked that great either. It's definitely, and that scared the fuck out of me because when I saw Justin do that, I was like, dude, don't do that. But don't do that. Never do that again. It's definitely something. And what's their pass rusher's name? He tore his ACL. Nick Bosa, right? Nick is still in a recovery from that ACL tear. He's playing, but like they always say, it takes over a year for you to start to feel yourself again. So you'll have one season of recovery and then one season of actually being back on the field.
Okay.
I think. Elijah Mitchell, I love. I have him in fantasy. He's a great player, but has to stay healthy. He has 3 concussions this season. He has a chipped shoulder, a chipped knee, a chipped rib, this, and this. Like, they just have so many things.
He's just all chipped. Jesus.
Right. Everything's chipped. But like,
everything's chipped.
It's the only, and guess what, though, Pride? It's the only chip he'll get this year. They're just not there yet. Like, that's the reality. Like, you have the Rams, you have the Cardinals, so fuck it. Let's roll out with Trey instead of bringing in Big Ben for why? For why? By the way, that's my girl's favorite.
Why?
I've been saying it all week. I said it in class today. I was like, he was like, so we're turning in your papers via email. And I was like, all right, dope. And he was like, and then you're going to present them after. And I was like, for why?
I like your girl because that's a legit question. Like, why? Like, why exactly are we doing this?
It was an English class. This guy looked at me. He was like, "What did you just say?" I said, "For why?"
He said, "For why?" Mike, someone just asked this. So, Mike, and I don't know who it is. So I can't really say their name because it's a user. So you're saying last year QB drafted are all bust. I'm assuming they mean that every. Because you were saying that Justin Fields is struggling and Trevor Lawrence is struggling and all that stuff. Right. So they're asking, are you trying to say that all of them are busts?
No.
Right. Yeah, I didn't understand. I think the point you were trying to make was that even if you have all this college experience, when you come to the NFL level, it's going to be tough. Right. So imagine a dude who just missed his last year starting. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Because
for me, it was more of, okay, well, look at Justin struggle. Look at Zach Wilson struggle. Look at Trevor Lawrence, national champion struggle. Mac Jones, national champion, at times struggles. Now, Mac gets a little bit of a pass because of his situation. And I compare it a lot to, and people are going to give me a lot of heat for this. I compare it a lot to Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, to that situation of it being more of, you drop.
Hey, yo, real quick. I hate to interrupt y'all, but Alicia Keys is at the NBA game tonight for the Warriors and Knicks. I'm just kind of like going back and forth here, and I just see her talking, and so I just wanted to let y'all know if y'all want to tune in on TNT, just letting y'all know Alicia Keys is there.
And Denzel Curry, do your thing, boy. But wait. But my biggest point though was, with Mac Jones, why you don't see him struggle as much is just like Patrick Mahomes is. When you drop that far, we got to understand, if you go after pick number 10 and you're a quarterback, you're going to be in a good position because the team you're going to most likely isn't shit. It most likely isn't. Just like with the Kansas City Chiefs, they got Patrick Mahomes, and it looks a lot better. But
so you're basically the point you're making is like, if a dude gets like, if you're a quarterback,
right,
you want to get drafted towards the end of the draft,
like Lamar Jackson, right,
because then it kind of puts you in a situation where, like, at least, look, my receivers might not be the best, but I'm not in Houston.
You're not the New York Jets,
right? I'm not the Jets like this. So in terms of that, I do get your point. I've always thought being the number one overall pick has been like,
it's a horrible thing.
A lot of people go, oh yeah, if you're not like, we got casuals here that, like, again, rip off ESPN articles, right? I mean, these are people who says the network is trash that want to join, but let me shut my fucking mouth because Pride's gonna be a good boy today.
I ain't joining that. Dude, sister, you here? I didn't even see
Bing bong, but
Bing bong
people saying that if you're the number one pick, you're like the greatest thing ever.
Right.
And I'm like, look, if I don't care what position I play, I don't care how great I am, I want to be the fucking last pick in the first round, in the second round, I want to be the last.
Yeah, you don't want to be. You want to be top 10, and then
because if I'm the last, guess what? More times than not, I'm gonna go to a quality team.
Right. Like you look
I'm gonna go to a quality team.
What's his name? Russo from the Bills, Gregory Russo, I think his name is. Like he's in a lot. He's one of the best defenders, in the draft last year, and he dropped all the way to the Bills. And you're in a position now where the Bills have the number one defense. If you would have went to Jacksonville, it would have been Russo getting double teamed. Look at Chase Young. Chase Young gets double teamed.
Yes, exactly. That's the perfect example. When Chase Young went to the Washington football team, I was like, I like it. The kid is transcendent. Right. But if I'm him, I don't like it because I'd rather go to a team that Right.
And granted, they had a good year. They had a good year, and that's fine. But then year two looks like shit. So that's exactly what you're going to get is inconsistent.
Which I feel bad because he tore his ACL. So like,
but they looked like shit way before he tore his ACL.
No, 100%.
Right. But I do that one hurt because I love Chase.
Oh, no, it hurt bad because I genuinely and I think it's fucked up how all of a sudden the defense was like, yeah, let's step up after he goes down. I'm like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here, bro? Like, you lose your best player.
When Robert Quinn had 2 sacks with Khalil Mack last year, and now that Mack had a foot-ending surgery, he has 12. I was like,
wasn't it Quinn who kind of got Aaron Rodgers in the discount double check?
Right. Yeah.
Where the fuck was this guy like 3 weeks ago? Like, what are we doing here?
What is this? You have 12 sacks last year. You had 2. Like, what are we talking? I don't care if you have a fracture or not.
I low key peeped that, and I was like, you know what? I'm bugging. Ain't no way this is real life, because like that shit.
Life. I'm watching it. I'm watching them every week, and I'm like, what the fuck were you doing last year? But
oh my god! All right,
we gotta have.
So I just wanted to throw that out there to see, am I bugging? Or do I have at least a little bit there?
Bugging. If it was a different team, it's a conversation, but not that team.
And honestly, you want to know the God honest truth, Mike? I don't think if it's not them, if it's not the Niners, there's no other team that'll grab them.
I think Green Bay would. That's it.
You really think Green Bay will get Ben Roethlisberger?
They're not the type to just be like, all right, fuck it. Like let's go into development mode. Like if Adams, if Adams and Rodgers walk. They're not going to just sit there with.
They have to, though. They're fucked.
They're not.
Because think about it. Who else do they? Let me think about it. If both of them walk,
they will ride with Odell and Roethlisberger. I bank on that.
Wow.
They're not the type to just sit down.
The second one, I think.
We'll see what happens.
Ate that shit.
So the Nets now genuinely believe that Kyrie Irving could potentially come back. Says she might want to block the TV. I'm just throwing that out there.
I am about to. I just had to.
I just wanted to make sure because Freddie would yell at me.
Yeah,
and I don't like it when Fred yells at me. When Freddie yells at me, I don't feel safe. And when I don't feel safe, I look for my daddy.
You don't
My
yell at
daddy's
me.
not here, so I'm fucked.
Mari, can you not?
He said, so he said, oh God, I hope my dysfunctional ass Raiders don't go and get Ben after we trade Derek Carr.
It's a
I will.
that's
And honestly, I
Ben
hope
doesn't
Derek-
go there though. Ben doesn't go there.
I don't know.
No, definitely not.
Derek Carr
the
gets
Raiders.
fucked.
That doesn't
I ain't gonna be
make sense.
disrespectful. But
Derek
the
Carr-
fastest player on your team tapped out at 150, and now he's going to jail for life.
So the Brooklyn Nets genuinely believe that Kyrie Irving will be able to play. We going right along with that, Mike. I'm not stopping it for
One's got drug addiction, and the other one got a
Oh,
DUI, and his name is Josh Jacobs. And I'm not talking about Derek Carr.
Right.
Yo,
And
sis,
your
I
head
tried.
coach,
All right.
your
Sis,
head
I
coach
tried.
is nasty.
Listen,
I tried.
there's so much happening. This it's just like this. Mike, I just wish.
You know what it reminds me of? Wait, can I just please, really quick, can we just talk about it? It reminds me so much of the Florida Gators with Tebow, because it's Tebow
And Cam Newton.
Yeah.
And,
Like,
what was it? Was it Aaron
Aaron
Hernandez?
Hernandez.
Oh
Now, but listen, hear me out. So Derek Carr is a church-loving guy. He's an amazing individual, and so is Tebow. But then you have a drug addict, a former drug addict, pardon me, Josh Jacobs, who has a DUI. Henry Ruggs killed 2 people, and John Gruden was exiled from the NFL forever with nudes, racism, and LGBT.
And honestly, I think John Gruden
Heavy on the racism.
heavy on the racism.
No, John Gruden gonna be back. He's gonna be back.
Probably.
And,
but
and I just want to say that Keyshawn Johnson tried to tell y'all about John Gruden for the
And
longest.
that's
And
the
nobody
thing.
wanted
Here's
to
the
believe
thing.
Keyshawn.
We have idiots out here defending him, saying free John Gruden. I'm like, wait a minute. We had dudes. Not only remember, we got dudes from Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they won, warning us. Look, bro, if we say it,
Listen,
y'all
Keyshawn
not
was
gonna
the
believe
first
us.
one that, man, listen.
They kept saying, look, when we say it, you're not gonna believe us. Eventually, when the truth comes out, we're gonna need an apology. So
Right.
they gonna need their fucking restitution.
I mean, I kept my same energy when they
And
disrespected Sean
listen.
Taylor.
My only thing, to be honest, let's go all the way. Because listen, I'm still waiting for the Washington football team to get exposed.
Wait, real. Oh, and that, have y'all heard what's been going on with that? Like the latest news with that? Because they're saying that they were trying to pretty much intimidate witnesses on some type hype. So
They
it's
did
about to
Robert
get
Sarver.
real.
I'd wanted
ugly
to
for
skip the
Washington
topic.
football
I ain't
team.
letting that rip. You ain't walking off on that. We ain't talking about no Kyrie.
Yeah.
Irving.
Nah, we talking
Kyrie.
Fuck Washington
Kyrie.
football team.
Curry made his first 3, 1 more to go. And can I be honest?
I think it's 2 more to go.
No, he just hit because he's 2 off.
Wait.
So if I'm not
hold
mistaken,
on.
right now he tied it.
No, I think he's
Tied.
3 off.
Nah,
Wait,
bro.
what? They want the game must be slowed down for me because it's 2-2 for me right now.
Stop spoiling.
I'm just gonna say this.
I'm sorry.
And there it is. Steph just hit the shot. 1 more to go.
Oh
Yep.
yeah,
One more to go.
it is. Yeah, it is off.
So
Yeah,
and here,
yeah.
can I let me ask y'all a question.
He's
I
the
don't give a
fucking
I'll
goat.
be honest. I don't give a fuck if Steph breaks his record.
It just caught up for me. I gotta refresh.
Yeah,
it.
does he really need it?
Steph's the goat.
If we're gonna be honest,
Steph's the goat.
you said Steph's the go.
Nah, he doesn't need. It doesn't matter what he
Steph
needs.
Curry
It's
is
just,
What up, Fred Word?
Get off my
But look,
team.
I mean, me
oh
personally,
God.
I
Oh
don't
God!
I
Why
don't
did y'all
think-
do this?
How you gonna put me at the bottom of my own show?
It wasn't me. I just
Crazy
hit
as
add.
fuck.
I just hit add and it threw you up there.
Crazy
Swear to
as
God.
fuck. Nah, put
Look,
this at the top.
real
I don't
quick,
want
I
to be
just
at the
wanna-
bottom.
Before we talk about Kyrie,
Oh,
I just want to
yeah,
say one
this is
thing when it comes to
nice.
this. I just want to say one thing when it comes to Steph. Personally, I don't care if he breaks the record.
He's the GOAT.
I mean, in terms of shooting,
He's the GOAT.
in terms of shooting,
everything in life.
Wait, he doesn't have the. Does he? Does he have the record already? Or
The game not even
no,
on yet.
he's tied. He's tied with Ray Allen now.
Yeah, the game is on. I'm watching it right now. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Which, by the way, we were talking about this
The
earlier.
game is
By the
definitely
way,
on. I'm watching it
fuck
right
Madison
now.
Square Garden.
Lies that-
Let me just say this: fuck Madison Square Garden because they get everything. Okay, they get
Listen,
everything. Like,
I'm
yo,
about to say, no,
Steph,
it's just
just
the
go freezing
opponents.
cold.
The opponents in Madison Square, like,
just go ridiculous, bro. I don't know what it is. And look, man,
nah, Steph,
oh,
give him
Kyrie
50.
goes cold.
Give him 50, Steph. Give him 50.
Yeah, no,
I got him in fantasy. Give him 60.
he said whip is 60. But I just want to throw that out there. Honestly, I don't care if he breaks the record. I don't think it matters because he's already the greatest shooter of all time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like for me, it's
Yeah,
like
no, I mean, it definitely doesn't. It definitely doesn't matter in that sense, but it's still nice to
Right.
see. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
I like.
I mean,
I
it's
just
good
like
to
stuff
have
like
it,
that. But I mean, no, he doesn't need it.
yeah,
he
you know what I
doesn't
mean? Like,
need it though. No,
yeah, like,
I
if
mean,
anyone
his
tells
career
me-
solidified without it. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Because if somebody told me, "Oh, I've been waiting for Curry to have this record," I'm like, "Yeah, shut the fuck up." Like, I'm not talking to you because if you're waiting for that,
Bro,
go home, close your
bro.
eyes, and just don't wake up.
It's funny over there,
Freddie, I
Fred.
have a question for you because we're talking about your knight in shining armor, Kyrie Irving,
Boy,
the guy
them
that you
eyebrows
hope
is about furious.
gets traded to the Lakers because you guys ain't looking good right now. Come on, I had to throw out a Lakers jab out.
2 games
First of
above
all,
500.
we on the winning street. Don't do that. Don't
Oh,
do
you
that,
on the winning
Pride.
streak?
Don't do
You on the
that.
winning streak?
Don't
What
do
seed
that.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question.
that.
What seed are y'all? What seed are y'all?
Traded him.
We got
Well,
two wins in the
that's all I gotta
you know what I'm
say.
saying?
Anyway, as I was saying,
we like
Arthur,
number
don't
6. We number
interrupt me.
6 right now. Don't do that.
I'm number
playing.
Don't do
2.
that.
I'm
Y'all
number
playing
2, and I
tonight.
haven't played in a week. But that's neither here nor there.
Hey, sis, tell them it don't matter how you start, it's about how you finish.
Huh?
Tell them that.
Now, Freddie. Now, Freddie.
How
all of a
you
sudden is
finish,
back on board.
baby?
Now, Freddie's back on board. That's crazy. All right.
Didn't
So,
you finish
Pride,
in the
what's
first round?
Pride? What's up with what's Pride? What's good with your Celtics? What's good with your Celtics,
We need to
Pride?
know,
What's
bro,
good with
at
your
this
They
Celtics,
point,
Pride?
500.
no, and listen, bro. We 500. We've been playing like we worse. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it a stat.
My team.
And listen, I've been listening to
I'll
fans
drink
say,
to that.
and listen, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it a stat. We've been playing iffy. People are saying, "Oh, it's because Jaylen Brown's not playing." And my thing is, no disrespect. I think even with Jaylen Brown, we would still be struggling.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike. D Rose just hit a 3. I thought
Freddie,
you might want to hear that.
Let me ask you a question, Freddie.
My heart.
The Nets genuinely believe that Kyrie Irving will play. They think he'll come back this season. They do believe they don't know whether or not that if he's going to get the shot or not or the vaccine. They don't know, so they're just assuming that he's going to be part-time. Do the Nets?
Or he's just gonna be there.
Do the Nets really need Kyrie Irving to come back full-time, or is part-time Kyrie? Which, by the way, that's what I'm gonna start calling him. He Stop and Shop Kyrie. I'm gonna call him Walmart Kyrie just because he's part-time. Or will part-time Kyrie be good enough?
If I don't recall, I believe they said that if he's not all in, that he's not gonna let him play. So I mean, he's gonna have to be full time Kyrie, and I'm not gonna really put too much attention on it because obviously if they feel like he's coming back, that means he's considering getting the shot. Because without the shot, with the state laws down there in New York and Brooklyn, he can't play. So,
Bing bong.
so I mean, hey,
But now, Freddie, when it says
Bing
part-time,
bong.
I just want you when they say part-time, they mean road games.
well, no. Remember, it was a report that said that
They don't
they're
want
not
him.
gonna-
They don't want
yeah,
him doing road games.
Yeah, they wanted him.
Well, it doesn't matter what they
Yeah.
want. Like if we're gonna keep it a stack, you know.
No, like the entire team said it. They didn't want him.
Get it?
Right, but they say that like this is the same team who said if Kyrie Irving doesn't get the shot, they were gonna cut him. This is the same team that said they were gonna trade him after that.
Right.
So when the team tells me that, I go, "Are you sure about like I don't know if y'all seen that meme with John Cena when he puts his head through the wall. He goes, "Are you sure about that?" Like that's how I look at it. Are you sure? Because originally they were gonna cut him. Then they go, "You know what? He's all right. We're just gonna try to trade him." But then they never reached out to anybody. So it's like, I know the team said that, but I'm pretty sure that they'll, Kyrie, we'll start. We'll let you be part-time and go from
Bro,
there.
I just want to go to bed. Who said that?
Mike.
We made eye contact, Mike. What are you talking about? But I mean, for me, Freddie. But go ahead, Freddie.
Listen,
I just don't think.
Alana was gonna say something.
there it is. Oh, he just got the record, y'all.
And there it is. Let's give a round of applause
There
to
it is.
Steph
He
Curry
got it.
to get
Yep.
That's the goat.
2,800 threes
That's
for
the
a
goat.
record that my man
He
didn't
got it.
fucking need. Okay, and we're doing all this.
There you go. He just got it.
So here's the $1 million question. Matter of fact, here's the $1 million question. How long until he gets 3,000?
Goat.
How long
A
until he
week
gets
or two.
3,000?
In the next couple games, like
think-
he's right there.
I
Like
think he's been
he's not
struggling.
far
You
at
know,
all.
Actually, I had a question. For everyone. Freddie's gonna like it because it has something to do with Bron. you know, we've seen Steph getting a lot closer to breaking the record, and he wasn't shooting well.
Oh, here we go.
He really wasn't. He wasn't shooting well, and I think it was because of that pressure of breaking the record. Do you think that's kind of the same thing with being Finals MVP and kind of holding it down in big situation moments? It's not that Curry's not there, but he definitely struggles when it comes to like knowing that, you know, you're so close to this situation. I just kind of noticed it, and I was like, wow, it kind of reminded me of the finals all the time, because he was always there, he was always present, but he just wasn't really taking over in the way you thought. Like, he could have easily dropped fucking 10 threes in a game if he wanted to, but he just kind of was struggling. And I was kind of like, not to take anything away from him, but I peeped it.
And I've seen it the same. For me, what I genuinely believe is, after this, Freddie, I'll let you go. I just think that when that moment comes, Steph kind of plays. He plays good.
Passive.
Yeah, he plays. You know, he plays all right.
Everybody's shoulders not big like the Kings.
Don't do that. Don't do that, because you're the same one who says that he can't handle those moments.
Mike's shoulders aren't that.
What do you say, Brad?
Don't do that. I said, Freddie, you're the same dude who says that he can't handle those moments.
When have I said that?
Sis.
No. What you gonna? My mama say.
Sis.
You gonna repeat
No, I
me,
don't care what your
correctly.
mama say. You always say what your mama say, but you always be saying some bullshit.
This is what I said. That last year in the first round of the playoffs,
You say he
LeBron quit. That's not me saying he's afraid of the moment. There's a difference.
Sis, on multiple times he said that he runs away from that moment.
That was not me, Prod. I've known about the Toronto. I've known about Washington. I've known about Detroit. I've known about him. You know, as many times LeBron came to clutch, I've never said
Mike.
Show me the footage.
Yeah, it's a lot of rambling right now.
Show me the footage.
Thank you.
Show me the footage.
I showed you the footage earlier of a live video, and you told me I fucking edited it.
You did, because you didn't record the whole damn conversation.
There was nothing else said.
Hold on, Freddie. Wait a minute, Freddie. Hold on, wait a minute, Freddie. So for you, context is important, right?
Yes.
So I just want to throw it out there. I want to make sure we're all on the same page.
He's crying, guys. Oh,
you're telling me that context is important.
Very.
Is to me, Mike. I think you know where I'm going with this.
Words mean things, Freddie. Remember that. Words mean things.
It's kind of funny. Context matters now.
Didn't say showing that because she got her hair done. Look at all slick up there. Let me find out.
Listen. Mind your business.
Yup.
But I would like to say something for a player in LeBron.
Let me
I
live.
want to say something for a player in LeBron who's not a shooter, who's not a scorer, who can never score like Michael Jordan, who can never score like Kobe Bean Bryant. God rest his soul. Steph Curry just broke the record of threes. He have 2,974 threes.
Right.
Could you guys believe that Mr. James have 2,023 threes himself? That's pretty damn impressive for a non-shooter, a non-3-point shooter, unlike those other guys. Pretty impressive.
Are you done?
Man, you saying Michael
That's
Jordan?
That's really contradictory, considering the fact that
when you say
What did you say, Mike?
It's fine. But it's fine.
When you say MJ is a better
my
shooter,
boy was rocking in the 90s, but I mean, okay.
Can you repeat that again, Mike? Because I couldn't hear you.
You said Michael Jordan wasn't a good 3-point shooter?
No. What I'm saying is, people always want to say LeBron can't score the ball, shoot the ball like Kobe, like Jordan. But I mean, he have 900 something less threes than Steph Curry, which is just pretty impressive.
Hey, guess what? In 20 fucking years, but go off, I guess.
19.
Pretty much 20.
But hey, he's not a scorer like them guys.
Kyrie Irving. I don't want to talk about Bron when it comes
to
Kyrie.
But
you get me so confused. You really do.
Who, me or Mike?
You, Freddie.
I love Kyrie. My energy doesn't change.
No, yeah. I mean, look. Kyrie's a hell of a player. Look, I ain't gonna take that shit.
I love Kyrie as a person.
I don't know him as a person, so I don't know.
I love him as a person.
I don't know him as a person.
I love every person.
All I know is he confuses the shit out of me.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. And Mike, you and I agreed on this when he said, "I want to be." You know what I mean? Like
he was like,
"Oh, by the way, it seems like Giannis Antetokounmpo has COVID."
Everybody got COVID at this point.
So I mean,
Dude, this shit.
once
Toast,
you
bro.
start hitting
Get the
press,
fuck, bro. This is so
This is
irritating.
look,
Oh my
right?
god.
Quiet. I have something to say. This is fucking bullshit. And I want everyone to hear it. No one mute my shit. I got something to say. Growing up, we don't fucking make it to 20. We don't make it to 20 growing up here. Ilana knows we don't. We don't make it. So I'm 21. And they told me the 20s,
Don't.
the 20s was the time of your life. It's when you go to the club. It's when you get girls. It's when you make money. Bro, I've been doing nothing but hand sanitizing and wearing fucking masks for the last 2 years. This is bullshit. And now there's another variant out there. That shit can suck my ass. And I'm over it. And now you're fucking my Bulls. And now you're fucking my boy Giannis. And now I'm over it. And you're messing with Bron. And I don't get it. And I'm tired of it. So I don't know who I'm talking to in the fucking website worlds. But fix your shit. I don't want a vaccine no more. I want it gone. And that's all I have to say. And that's my TED Talk. This is bullshit.
I will say this.
I'm fucking over it. I want my Jack Daniels and my whores back. This is horrible.
Yo,
Sir, you have a whole ass girlfriend. If you don't cut
Pause. Let me rephrase.
and
yo,
that,
buddy, I love it here.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I
She
love
ain't
it here,
watching
Freddie.
this
a
shit.
lot wrong with that.
But here's the
I'm
question.
happy in my relationship, but I'll be damned if I'm gonna sit here and say I don't miss walking home drunk as fuck after a great night.
You know what?
And that's fine, but you
West
better
Side Sports
remember
Radio, you're
what-
my guy. Nah, right there. That's what I want.
Period. That's all I have.
That's my guy.
That's why I want to work for Barstool Sports and not ESPN, because they let you do blow if you want to do blow.
Okay, here. You know what? Can we get into the
I
actual
think
topic?
it's time for a
Oh,
commercial
yo,
break.
sis, let me ask you
Jesus.
something.
Okay.
Obviously, you know, Kyrie, you know,
Yeah.
kind of just saying, look, fuck this noise. I'll be back whenever, you know. Do you believe that, let's say, at some point the Nets kind of got to put their foot down, right? Regarding Kyrie.
Yeah.
At some point, they're gonna have to put their foot down and say either A or B, right?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
You're the Nets GM. You're having a conversation with Kyrie. You're laying down the law. You're putting your foot down. Sis, what options are you giving him?
Now, Alana, before you go, though, I just
yes,
want you to keep in mind who has COVID so far this year, the vaccinated players or Kyrie?
Kyrie don't go nowhere, so of course he's
That's
not
a
gonna
good
get.
point.
He's not gonna get a
No,
thing.
it's a
No,
good point.
no, that's not true because Kyrie has been some places. He's definitely been outside.
You
He's
don't
been
know
at
where
some
that
basketball.
motherfucker go.
No. If y'all
And we
pay
don't know where
attention,
he don't go.
That's what I'm
if y'all
saying.
would be, if
So
y'all
you-
would
you-
listen, if
Go ahead,
if
sis.
y'all
My
would
bad. You
listen-
got it, sis. My bad. Go ahead.
because Kyrie has been out in the public as of late. If you've been paying attention to like social media and things of that nature, Kyrie has been at basketball games. He's been at a couple different events. So he hasn't been completely just isolated in his house. He's been outside. Now, with this whole situation, as far as the Nets, and if I'm the Nets GM, I'm not giving Kyrie an ultimatum. It's either you, because that's not fair to everyone else. Everyone else had the decision. Either you get vaccinated or you don't. Either you get vaccinated or you stay your ass at home. So if I'm them, it's still the same thing. I'm not finna mix, kind of like, I guess what's the word? There's a word that I'm looking for. I'm not gonna basically bend the rules. I'm not that too, but I'm not gonna basically bend the rules to benefit you in this particular situation, because that's not fair to the team. That's not fair to other teams that have also had to give their players ultimatums that have said either get vaccinated or not. I mean, players have had different reasons for not wanting to get vaccinated, as far as like religion, things of that nature. That's not fair to them. So just because it's Kyrie Irving doesn't mean that we should be like, all right, cool, we should just go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, because it's Kyrie, we'll just let him play away games. But no, you're still risking people's lives at the end of the day, because if you get COVID, then it's too much. So if I'm the next GM and I'm saying, it's fine that you want to play, we're glad that you're enthusiastic about wanting to play and rejoin the team, but also, and as well, this is a business. We have other people, we have other lives to consider.
Ah, my girl.
It's either one. I knew it was coming. I knew it. I tried to save you. You wanted to crash and burn.
Real quick. Yo, Mike's girl, if you're watching,
I doubled down on everything I said.
No, but I told him to.
Why
I told him before the show.
No, he didn't.
Wear it on me, Mike.
Doubling.
Mike, if you would shut the hell up, you would get yourself out of trouble.
I'll see you in court.
Miss Hughes, listen.
But no,
here.
but not Miss Hughes.
I'm the CEO, president.
That's my
We
mama.
forced
dog.
this man to say these things.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. I forced him. I said if not, I said I was gonna kick him in.
All right, but wait, real question though. Real question.
Go
If James Harden isn't underperforming, are they even having this conversation of bringing
No.
Kyrie back?
No,
No, but also you have to consider as well because he's also into protocol for COVID and
he
safety.
just entered it. Yeah.
James?
Yes,
Yeah, he just
yes,
entered it
James Harden.
today.
He just entered it.
What are we talking about? Bring him in,
Well,
bro.
No. What we're talking about is even because let's just keep it honest. Like at least and this is just from the news standpoint. I normally don't even watch the news. I just saw this today, so I'm just throwing this out. I'm just throwing this out there. But they're saying that this new variant of COVID is not as deadly, but it's more contagious than the other
Dude,
variant.
I was reading that.
So
I'm cool
yeah.
with that. I'm cool with that.
Which I am too. So it's not to say that it's even a serious case of COVID, but it's just the fact that it's COVID
Right.
nonetheless. But even still, from what I mean, like I said, I'm not pro-vax or anti-vax either way it goes. It's just whatever you feel like fits best for you, that's your business. But what I'm saying in its totality is that if we are requiring all these other people to live by these guidelines, it should not be shifted for Kyrie Irving. I'm sorry. I don't agree with that. I don't. I don't. And I, like I said, and now I agree with Kyrie coming out and saying, like, you know, I don't want to get vaccinated because X, Y, and Z. Like, I don't want nobody to control me. I'm with that. I totally understand where he was coming from with that. But what I'm saying is, if there's certain requirements for other players, it should be the same for Kyrie Irving. But go ahead, Pride.
I'm gonna put it to you this way for me. So first and foremost, like I say, for every action, it's Newton's third law. There's an equal and opposite reaction. Okay,
Absolutely.
Every choice you make, there's a good, either a good consequence or a bad consequence. I don't care what the choice is, right? If I go out, get drunk, and cheat, guess what? I'm gonna lose my girl and my kids. That's just a fact of life.
And you're gonna get your ass whooped. But
and I might die. I honestly might die, right? But again, that's you know what that's called? A risk.
You know what that's called, Pride?
A risk.
You know what that's really called?
Mike, don't bury yourself. Don't bury yourself, Mike. Don't bury yourself, Mike. Don't bury yourself. Do not bury yourself, Mike. You are don't bury.
You know what that Pride? You know what that
don't
does,
bury yourself, Mike.
He's gonna say it anyway.
No, Mike.
It builds character.
Oh God.
It builds something, all right. Look, Freddie left. But look, for me, look. If they don't let LeBron James not get vaccinated, there's no way they're gonna let Kyrie get away with that. If they don't let Kevin Durant, Giannis Antetokounmpo, if they don't let guys who are better than you, I don't see that. I can't say. You have to turn that down.
Coach Dante.
What up, Coach? But for me, if there are guys who are way better than you, and it's not even close, if they're not getting away with it, what makes Kyrie Irving think on any level he's gonna get away with it?
But like
That part, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
The part
And me personally,
that's
hold on.
not
I'm giving him an ultimatum. I don't
get that.
What do you mean you don't get that?
Like, can I just spitballing? Like, I don't get. First of all, if this was high school and these kids lived with their moms, lived with their grandparents, and lived with people who are sick, I get it. You know what I mean? But hear me out when I say this. When you're vaccinated, you have a likely chance of not dying, but you still get COVID, right? Now the Bulls are 100% vaccinated. Every single one of those motherfuckers not named Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso has COVID. So when I look at it in totality, as long as all of the Nets players are vaccinated, no one and this is just me, no one should give a fuck if Kyrie's not, because the only person that might die is Kyrie Irving.
But that's
No,
a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah.
And this is
Yeah.
where
They're
people
getting
tell
it.
me
They're
that.
being real.
But no, because that's not being real. That's not being real at all. That's not being real.
No, I'm saying what I'm saying is
because
like,
you're doing this, and I've heard people who want to defend Kyrie Irving say that, right?
it's not defending. It's just
It is.
It in a sense it is.
Mike.
In a
I
sense,
don't
it
want
is.
it. I don't
the
want it to
reason-
be because I don't want them to.
But
think
it
I'm
is, though.
anti-vax. But like, if everyone's
No, I'm not
getting
talking about anti-vax or not. I'm not talking about you being anti-vax. You know, I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying you're trying to use that to defend Kyrie. I'm not going to defend Kyrie.
I'm not defending.
Because
I'm just
everybody,
saying, like,
listen,
might as well just let him go.
Let me ask you a question. a legitimate question, right? Because I asked this question. When I ask it, no one answers me. The only thing I get is you hate Kyrie, and I don't hate him. Let me ask you a question. What the fuck makes Kyrie Irving so special?
Nothing.
Andrew Wiggins said it was religious. He had to take it.
He lied.
He was gonna have to, regardless if he lied or not. We live in a country where religion trumps all, right?
Yeah.
He said it was religion, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't give a fuck." So I'm asking the question: what makes Kyrie Irving so special? What makes him special? Why is he exempt when every other person in the county that had a vaccine mandate, they had to do it?
And that's my thing. Is like that's the whole thing. It's just like, I'm not saying his opinion per se or why he does or does not is right or wrong, because I'm not the judge of that. But what I'm saying is, if there are certain requirements and regulations that are placed in the NBA that says you either do this or this happens, then it should not be twisted or reconstructed for Kyrie Irving. That's not like Pride was saying, like LeBron, Giannis, KD, like the goats of the goats, like Steph, Dame, like all these guys had to get vaccinated, whether they want to talk about it or not. That was the protocol. So they followed suit and did what they had to do. Kyrie said that this is not something I want to do, which is fine. But don't try to come back on your own preemptive and say, oh, well, I want to play, but I only want to play. Because at the end of the day, if he just played, let's just say hypothetically, right? He just plays away games. That's going to disrupt that chemistry, no matter how you put it.
And that's why the team didn't want him there, because they were
exactly, because it's not going to be cohesive. Because it's like, at the end of the day, we got you for some, we got you for a sometime and not all the time.
You know,
if you're going to be a championship team, it's not going to work out like that.
You know, when you got the rec leagues and like sometimes your boy comes and sometimes he don't, but you know if he not there, y'all gonna lose. It's like that.
It's like that. Absolutely, that's a great analogy, because it's
like,
exactly
damn,
like
Scotty ain't here today. I'm gonna just go home.
Yeah, it's just like, it's not gonna be the same.
Right, and here's my thing with it, right? Like, and again, people say, "Oh, it's because you hate Kyrie." It's not that I hate Kyrie. I don't hate him. I don't like the fact that he ruined the Celtics, sure, but as an individual, do I hate him? No, but I don't know him, right? I don't. My thing is, what makes him special? Why does every other player in the league, when they're in an area that has a vaccine mandate, they were not offered okay, you can go and play away games. They wasn't offered to them.
Same thing with Aaron Rodgers, though. Because
Exactly. It's not like, so. It's like, and even then, in terms of the league, Kyrie is nowhere on the level of what Aaron Rodgers is to the NFL.
At one point he was.
No, not even close. Not even.
It was getting there. It was
never.
Getting there.
Nope. Never in his career was he even remotely close to being on the same level that Aaron Rodgers was in the NFL.
But he was definitely the face for like a second.
Who?
Like, kids loved Kyrie Irving. Like, Kyrie Irving was bringing in a lot of money to the NBA. Let's just be real.
When was this?
Cleveland.
When was this?
Cleveland.
No,
when
because
Bron came back,
wait. Hold on. Mike, normally I'm with you, but this one I'm gonna have to do
dude, Uncle Drew movies, all that stupid shit he was doing, like they were trying to.
First of all,
and Ray Allen had Jesus Shuttlesworth. Does that mean he was ranking him in?
First of all, Uncle Drew was a terrible movie. It was a terrible movie. If we're gonna be completely for the character,
I like the persona.
It was amazing.
I'm glad you used that word, pride, because here's where I'm going with this. The persona of Uncle Drew is great.
Yes.
People love the persona of Uncle Drew. Uncle Drew itself, the movie was terrible. Like let's and he had all those people in it, like it, and I was rooting for it, but it was terrible. Here's the thing. Kyrie has brought, I will give you this, Mike. He's brought excitement to the league. And he's brought excitement to the game, because let's just keep it honest. Kyrie playing basketball is must-see TV. Everybody wants to watch Kyrie because they want to see who he's going to cross, what kind of crazy shot he's going to, like, he's exciting to watch. But as far as bringing revenue, Kyrie's not marketable in that way, because Kyrie's not personable in that way.
But
that's
what I'm trying to
you know what I'm
say
saying.
It was very short lived because Kyrie's just not that guy to be a poster boy. Like Bron
But when
Bron
was it,
loves
though?
that shit.
But
Bron,
when was
Yeah,
it?
because Bron is personable. Even though Bron is otherworldly,
Right.
he's 6'8", 260, faster than everybody, can dunk on everybody.
and if
And
Kyrie could
he can do
that, I think he'd be the face.
But here's my
Yeah,
question.
no, for
hold
sure.
on.
But he can't. His personality won't allow him to do that because he's
Right.
not really a people person.
That's
Like
why I said it was
he's really
it was
like
very
close knit.
short-lived.
Nah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
hold on, but hold on. When was
But
it?
I think excitement and revenue is two different things, though.
Yeah.
That's more so what I'm saying. Go
here's
ahead,
the
Fred.
thing.
I'm sorry.
When was this? No, you're good. When was this?
I would say probably like 2015 to
No.
2017.
No,
Is
because that
around
wasn't
the height
him.
of Kyrie.
That wasn't him.
I
That
mean,
wasn't
that's
him. That was doing that. That was when Bron came back. And then when
Yeah,
Bron,
but we're not gonna sit here and act like Kyrie wasn't hooping.
No, Kyrie was hooping.
we're not saying he wasn't hooping,
yeah,
but in
yeah.
terms of being the face,
Right.
the dude wasn't even the face of his own team.
No, but he was being the face of what Allen Iverson was becoming. Was just the crossovers and kids wanting to be like Kyrie and kids
I
wanting
don't
to
think
say
so.
Kyrie had the best handles. Kyrie had this.
There's
shoe game.
Not even because people were
But see,
arguing
there's
Steph Curry
yeah,
handle.
there's there, but see, even in that, even saying in that, there's a difference in that because Allen Iverson again with the crossover and just Allen Iverson is culture. Like when you think of Allen Iverson, you think of the culture, you think of hip hop, you think of merging the two worlds of hip hop and basketball together. You think of iconic, you think of like, you know what I'm saying, pound for pound, one of the greatest to ever do. Like Allen Iverson was such a I don't even know if there's the right word to describe what Allen Iverson really was because he was so much more than just a basketball player. Like I said, I get what you're trying to say, Mike, but I think you're misconstruing the two words there. And like I said,
I just think it was so short-lived. You never even really got to see it.
But see, no, even in that short span of time, because I'm a Bron fan, so you know I was paying attention. So even in that short span of time, I get what you're saying. I just think that Kyrie brought excitement. Like I said, Kyrie brought, like, he's paired with a guy like Bron. So now we get to see Kyrie on a bigger scale. We get to expose more to Kyrie.
That's what I mean. If Kyrie, not to cut you off, but if Kyrie had gone to Boston and won a championship, I think Kyrie, and he's a leader and he's everything we're talking about. I think you see a different version of this. But Kyrie,
and you're right, and you're right, and then you're right, and I think he would be more transcendent in the way that you're speaking about him as far as like being the face and bringing money to the NBA. But the problem is he closed that side of him off, so there was never really okay. So I guess we're kind of on the same page.
Tell me where I'm wrong though, Pride. If Kyrie would have went into Boston, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, all those guys balling out, and they would have had a dynasty, Kyrie would be looked at completely different to how he's looked at now. But because it was so short-lived and because he became the person that he is, you'll never get to know that because Kyrie's just not that Hollywood type of face. He's just not.
No. It's not that he's not that Hollywood type of face. That's not really what it is. Kyrie Irving is just what his skill set. He just wasn't built to be the face of a team. That's just a fact.
Yeah. I mean, he's the Hollywood type of face as far as like the clean cut, like, you know, kind of innocent kid, but it's just the personable part of it,
right?
The personality part of it. That's just not in his personality to be like outgoing, forthcoming, and being, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, like how you said, Bron loves it. Like he loves to be involved in music and in movies and with this rapper and that rapper and you know, doing this and doing that. Like he's more personable. Like I said, even though there's not a lot of humans that can do what Bron does, but you can relate to Bron personality wise,
right? Because
it's a dude from the hood who's funny, who's got a personality. Kyrie ain't that dude. Kyrie's very closed off. He's very close knit. Like if you're in his inner circle, they probably see another side that we will never get exposed to for Kyrie. But to the world, which is why he couldn't really capitalize on the Uncle Drew thing, because think about if he was really personable, like Uncle Drew could have really been something, but because he doesn't, that's just not him. That's just not him. You know what I'm saying? So it was never going to be what it could have been.
Right. They set him up though. That was just my point. Is they set him up to be the.
No, for sure. No, for sure. He was definitely.
He just didn't take.
He was definitely. Yeah, he was definitely in the running, but I think it got to be too much for him. I think he got a little overwhelmed, and it was just like, I don't think I want to. I don't want to do this.
He's just kind of a background guy. He doesn't really care.
Yeah. Kind of like a KD. Like KD's the same way. KD has all the potential in the world to be.
KD's a background guy, and he can still be the face. So that's
and still, yeah.
So that's why I say no matter what, like Kyrie Irving is not a dude. Like,
but even when you think of face of the.
He's what, and if I have any wrestling fans listening, you guys know what I'm referring to. He's a B+ player. That's just a fact of it. He is a B+ player. He's a great talent. He is. But to be a face, you're either down bad or you're forcing him to be.
Right.
One or the other. Kind of the same thing with Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, but even with KD, like KD, people when you think of face of the NBA, people don't normally name KD. It's either Bron or Steph. Because of both of those guys are personable guys. But you're not.
The only reason in a couple years that KD's name hasn't been brought up is because he was injured. It's kind of the same thing with Clay. People talk about Clay, but it's just because he's injured and now he's starting to come back.
Clay's a beat.
But what I'm saying is that not people. I'm not saying that
people don't talk about you when you're injured.
Right.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying it's not that to say that the people don't discuss KD's greatness or don't put him in that class. It's just that when they talk about face of the NBA, it's more than just being great. It's being personable. It's being out to the open, being accessible to people. That's what I'm saying.
Accessible. So tweet at him and respond.
No, he's not. I mean, he responds to bullshit though. Like it's not like
what are you talking about?
Yeah, like it's not like he's out here responding like to Bron, where Bron's like, oh yeah, like laughing and joking with people. KD's just responding to bullshit. KD's just like. He's just like he sees a random dude that's like KD's trash, and he's like, "Oh no, you're trash.
Your mama trash." And it's like KD stop. Yo, he got 2 followers. He got 2 followers.
Like, come on, KD. Like, come on, man.
You stalking his mom's thing. Like, relax, KD. You be on some nuts shit, bro. But yeah, I understand where y'all coming from. My thing is, I just in no point in my career, in life ever. Have I looked at Kyrie Irving?
Say again, Pride. In your career.
I mean, I'm official. Yeah, fuck it. I'll say my career. It's official. So, yeah, in my career, I've never in my life looked at Kyrie and was like, damn, bro, that guy, he's a face. Like, bro, he got a face, but he wasn't.
Even when he went to Boston, you didn't think he could be the face of Boston Celtics?
No.
You still thought it was Jason?
No. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. And again, I love the Boston Celtics. You feel me? Like, ever since I've known what basketball was. I've watched it. And not a single, I think only one person I've ever met, and I've been in Celtics groups and all that shit. There's only one person who I saw that liked that pickup, and it was one of my godbrothers that loved that pickup. But even then, he was like, I love the pickup, but Kyrie can't be the face of our team because we're gonna be dog shit.
Right.
And I mean, I don't know, maybe. The only people, I'll be honest, the only people who think Kyrie Irving has been a face are super fans.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if we're going to be honest, you know what I mean? So for me, the way I look at it, I'm not trying to be mean or whatever, but it's just a fact. Kyrie Irving just is not that guy. He is a B+ player.
Right. Now,
and it's okay to be that.
Not to get off topic, what's Jason?
Huh?
What is Jason Tatum?
Right now?
An A+ or a B+?
Woo!
Shit, I'm in trouble.
I knew it. We tried to stop you while you was ahead, man. We tried to stop you.
We tried to stop you. I'd say A-.
I'll be right back. I'm in trouble.
To answer that question, Mike, before you go, I say A-. I'll say A-.
A-.
All right, so sis, we're gonna talk about your lover, your husband.
Let's get into
the man who you want to marry, who you want him to. Yes. I saw all types of message of posts you put out. You want him to massage you, take you out to dinner. You want it all.
I want everything, all of the things.
You asked for everything except the ring, sis.
I did.
It was everything, and I'm pretty sure the ring is right around the corner, sis.
It's all. It ties in together. It's a package. It's a complete deal.
Let me ask you something. Obviously, Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
He's like a little, a little.
Talk about it. No, don't sugarcoat it for him, Pride. Don't let him get
sugarcoating it because it's a little. It's a little.
Don't let him get off the hook.
I'm gonna go on my thing. But OBJ seems like he's finally starting to find himself with the LA Rams. He's starting to find himself. So is it still fair to say that it's Baker's fault that OBJ did not work out in Cleveland?
Yes.
Wow.
And it's not, and here's what I'll say as well. It's not just on Baker, but Baker has a lot to do with it. I think it's Baker and also in as well the coaching staff. I don't think that they really had a genuine idea or a game plan of what OBJ was going to be. Good grief, Steph. Jesus. Sorry. I don't think that they had a honest assessment about what OBJ's role was going to be for that team. And what I always compare it to is how Carmelo was with the Rockets. How Carmelo kind of we tried to help.
This, I tried so hard. So
I did
Mike.
We were over here campaigning for him to close his mouth, and he just had to keep going.
Mike,
he just had to keep going.
Mike, look at me, Mike. Don't blink if you need help. Got it. Heard it. Don't worry. I know you don't. Hold on. You don't need help, and help is not on the way, Mike. Go ahead.
We tried to anyway, but like I said, I always compare it to
four doors, more whores.
We tried to compare it with I compare it to the Carmelo and the Rockets situation because it was the same. It was the same equivalent as how Carmelo didn't really have a definitive role with the Rockets. They kind of just threw him in there and said, "We're going to try to make this work, and you just beat Carmelo, and we'll just see what happens." And it doesn't work like that in every situation.
And then
you have a talent,
Bulls, and you're the greatest Bull of all time.
That too, but we have but with Odell, when you have a talent like Odell's, you have to be forthcoming and honest with them and say, "Hey, look, we're bringing you into our situation. This is what we like to do. This is what we see you doing with us." That way, at that point, he could either say, "Okay, I'm cool with that," or other arrangements could have been made. But no, they didn't do that. They decided to just throw him in there with an offense who's a run-first offense, which doesn't make sense when you have a deep threat in Odell Beckham Jr. They have a run-first offense, and now in addition to having a guy like Baker Mayfield, who in his mind, he has to be the guy. He has to be the savior. He has to be the end-all be-all. So it was a train wreck waiting to happen, and we all saw it blow up. So now we're starting to see that Odell Beckham goes to another team with a quarterback who can actually throw the deep ball, who has an offense that is predicated to getting the receivers the ball as well as trying to run the ball, even though they don't really have a strong run game, but they can balance it out. Basically, is what I'm saying. They don't, but they at least attempt to try to balance it out. Right. So they have that, and so now you're seeing the benefits. Odell never fell off. Odell fell off an opportunity. And that's what people have to realize, that he did not get the opportunity to be the Odell that we knew in the New York Giants with the Cleveland Browns, because that offense was never catered to his game and never fit his game. He never fit that scheme. So now that he's with a completely different team where they're positioning him to do what he does well, we're seeing that, Odell still has a speed. Odell still can be a deep threat. Odell can still go can still get in the end zone. Odell can still, pick up important yards and at least be in a deciding factor on an offense for a winning team. This is his first winning team. Like when he was with the Giants, and he's putting up crazy numbers. They were not a good team. This is his first opportunity in that spotlight. So like I said, it ain't all on Baker, but a good percentage of that definitely falls on Baker, because we're now seeing Odell away from Baker, and Baker is still the same shitty quarterback. So let's call it what it is.
If I would have went in the beginning of the year and placed a bet that Odell Beckham Jr. would catch COVID-19 before he caught a football from Baker Mayfield, I'd be a millionaire.
Let me know when you're done.
We would be millionaires, but go ahead.
Period. Let me know when you're done.
Baker Buns and Odell.
Baker is trash. He is trash juice.
No, but I like Baker. I'm a Baker.
No, matter of fact, I'm with y'all because first game with the Rams, he got 3 targets for 2 receptions. In the second game, He got 5 receptions with 10 targets. That's 50%. But if anybody else did that, they'd be horrible. Then against Jackson, he had 5 targets for 2 catches, and then now he goes to Arizona all of a sudden. So I mean, again, with Odell, this is really what we're saying. I do not understand why when Odell does this, it's okay, but then when Baker does it, he's dog shit. He's horrible.
But here's the difference.
Ask you the question: is it just possible, maybe in the realm of possibility, that Odell Beckham Jr. going to a run-first team, is that possible that it will not work? Is that possible?
No, and that's what I said in my argument. That's what I also mentioned.
Baker.
No, I blame Baker, and I said
I don't blame Baker. I don't blame Baker.
I said Baker has something to do with it, as well as the coaching staff. And I also said that but Odell going to a run first offense didn't make any sense because that's not predicated to what he does well. I did mention those 3 things, Pride. But what I'll say also in this well, as far as this goes, Baker Mayfield is a shit quarterback. I'm sorry, he is. It just is what it is. He's a shit quarterback. But the thing with Odell, because you were talking about the trajectory of him going up and down, he just got to the Rams. So it's not like he's been with the Rams for how he was with the Browns, where he was there for 3 seasons. Hold on, where he was there for 3 seasons with training camp, with OTAs, with all that. He got there in the middle of the season where they already established what they're going to do, and he's had to implement himself. But what I will say, from the first game for the Rams to now, he's gotten progressively better. He looks like he's at least a part of the offense. They look a little bit more in sync. There's stuff that they still have to work out, but he's getting better every single game. Everything you just said, he started out with 2 catches and 2. It's gotten progressively better. It's only going to continue to improve. And he's had 3 games. He's had 3 games with at least a touchdown. How many times has he done that in Cleveland?
Yeah, well,
consecutive games. I'm talking consecutively. I'm not talking sporadic. I'm not talking one this week and 1 in 4 more weeks. I'm talking about consecutive games. How many times does that happen with Baker?
So so you're telling me that's specifically Baker's fault?
I didn't say specifically. I said he plays, and I've said this before. I didn't say specifically. I said he plays a role as well as the coaching staff, because the coaching staff never made Baker, not Baker, but they never made Odell a part of the offense. I said both parties. It's 50-50. It's 50 on Baker and it's 50 on the coaching staff.
I think I play the best role in the whole chat of ASAP because I hate both of these motherfuckers equally. Like, I just think. I'll give it to you straight on why Odell was so frustrated, was because Odell was playing like dog shit, dropping passes.
Thank you.
Sis, I'm being real.
Thank you.
No, you're right.
Like, being real.
He definitely was dropping passes. He definitely.
No, it wasn't even just that though. Odell was coming off a serious leg injury after coming off of serious shoulder injuries.
Mike, relax. You're making too much sense. Mike, relax. You're making too much sense.
But for Odell to be upset for not being the main target on this offense, not just the main wide receiving target, just the main focus, I wouldn't expect him to be either, because you have Kareem Hunt, you have Nick Chubb, you have Jarvis Landry, you have a bunch of guys who can do it. And
you had Austin Hooper at the time too.
You still have Austin Hooper and Njoku, and you have a bunch of guys, and you have one of the best offensive lines at the beginning of the year.
Those guys aren't even people's roads.
But sis, my biggest point right now is what I'm trying to make is I completely was fine with Odell not getting the targets that he wanted, because number one, you didn't look like you wanted those targets because you weren't really setting yourself up for those opportunities. That was really it. And you were just trying to get back to what you were. And now mid-season, you're starting to see Odell flourish as being more speedy, being more this, being more that. Now on Baker's side of things, there definitely were times where, Odell wasn't even getting covered and you were looking right, and Baker and Odell was the only guy left. 21 men on the field were all right, and Odell was the only one on the left. And you still didn't even look his way. So it's definitely something where I look at it and I say, I call him, a Hollywood Mitchell Trubisky, to the point where I think, there is a lot of potential with Baker Mayfield. I think there is. Mitchell
here's some, it's not. I hear all of that, and here's my counteract to that. And what I'll say is this: is that I hear everything that you're saying, because I'm not saying that Odell is completely absolved of blame for this situation not working, because he's not. Like there's been plenty of opportunities that he's had where he's dropped the ball, and I will totally agree with you on that. But here's the problem though: if I go for 5 to 6 series of plays and you're not even blinking in my direction, like you're not even blinking. Hold on.
But there's an easy rebuttal to that. And the easy rebuttal is, why am I going to look at you when I'm hitting other guys and the run game is working? That's
but it wasn't. But see, it wasn't. It couldn't have been always working because they still were losing. So it's not. It's the simple fact of I don't even think Odell's the kind of guy to be like, oh, I need 20 targets a game. It's just like, if we're losing and I'm not even getting the opportunity to make an effect on the game, then that's where the issue lies. And that's where people don't seem to understand that part of it. It's not the fact that he's not getting the targets. It's the fact that Not only am I not getting the targets, but we're losing. Mike Evans, they're winning though. That's the difference. They are winning. They don't have Jameis Winston. That makes a difference. They were winning.
With Jameis Winston,
they were winning. Not with Jameis. No, how is that not Baker's fault? They're not winning. How is that not? You're the quarterback. You are the leader of the team. How is that not Baker's fault?
Hold on, real quick before
how is it not? How is it not?
When it comes to this situation, I blame the front office and the head coach.
Yeah,
that's who I blame.
So Baker has no blame in this.
No, I think Baker.
I'm gonna tell you why. I don't blame him. Just like the same way for this situation, I don't blame Odell. They were two guys who tried to make it work, and they couldn't. They just couldn't. They couldn't. For instance, with the Lakers, right? And when Russ wasn't fitting with AD and
I don't blame Russ.
You blame the front office because what the fuck did you expect?
Right.
And that's what it is here. I'm not gonna blame Odell and Baker when they're not the ones who really wanted to be paired up. It just happened. It didn't work. And
this is a horrible analogy, Pride. Horrible analogy. But it's the same concept of when someone gets shot and then they say, man, this is why we shouldn't have guns. Like, no, dog, like guns are fine, but you just got shot by some asshole who shot you. Like that's who it is. They shot Odell the second they sent him to Cleveland.
Right, yes.
Period.
Yeah, because him going to a run for his team, a team that should have ran the ball, a team where guys are already fighting for touches.
Like I wanted Odell to be what Stephon Diggs was for Minnesota. I thought if Odell went to the Bills or if Odell went to Minnesota to replace Stephon Diggs, I felt like that was perfect.
Right.
But we didn't.
Actually, not really Minnesota, because then at the time they had.
So you're saying that Odell should have went to a team with a good quarterback.
No. He should have went to a place where he.
No, but you said to the Bills, right? You were talking about to the Bills. The Bills have.
But here's the thing.
I love Josh.
A place where you're the clear-cut number one guy in a pass-heavy offense.
Right.
That's what I mean. Granted, the Vikings aren't as pass-heavy,
and he should have did that,
but they still throw the ball.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if this happened in Buffalo,
so if he got more, if he got opportunities, then it would have been.
Because, no. Because I see what you're trying to do.
I don't think it's opportunities.
Okay. It's not opportunities when you're literally fumbling the ball like crazy and you're literally giving up on routes.
If I'm running routes and if I'm running routes for 5 to 6 plays and you're not even blinking in my direction, and then on the 7th play you decide to just Hail Mary it to me, how's that on me? Because I'm not even in a rhythm at that point. I'm just running routes for no reason. I'm wasting space.
I'm talking as an individual played wide receiver. You expect the ball every single time. When you break and you make your cut, in your mind, that ball is coming to me.
Right.
So don't sit here.
No. Because if we're in the huddle, and we're drawing, and I hear that, but at the same time, most of those receivers are getting the ball more times than Odell was getting the ball. That's what I'm saying. Like there was literally 5 or 6 plays in a row where they're drawing up, and he, like you said, Mike, he's on the island by himself, ain't nobody in his direction. But Baker looks the other way. Baker's doing this. But then don't get mad at me when you force feed me a pass and I don't make the play. Like what happens to the 5 or 6 plays when I was wide the freak open?
That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the plays where he got force fed. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when they brought him in. They brought him in to be the deep threat in a system where they don't go deep often. So again, if you're talking about it's Baker's fault, why are we going to kill Baker when he just plays quarterback in the system that the coaches, no matter how many coaching changes they've done, the one thing has always remained constant. We don't really fling the ball out like that.
Right.
So again, why am I like? If you're talking about not force feed him, well, technically speaking, you have to force feed him because the one thing he thrives in is the one thing we don't really care to do.
Right.
So we have to force feed him. We have to throw him those balls.
Right. And
And on top of that, it doesn't work when there have been times where Baker is looking at the dude,
right?
And OBJ literally does the laziest cut I've ever seen in my life, which makes no sense because OBJ can run routes. He's a great route runner, but all of a sudden he stops and then he's looking at Odell or he's looking at Baker
because he wasn't getting the ball. I feel Odell. I'm not gonna run. I'm not gonna keep running hard, and you're not gonna even look in my direction. But then all of a sudden, when you fling it to me with three guys on me, then all of a sudden I'm supposed to be otherworldly. No, I'm not gonna. You're
making the mistake in thinking that this was New York I would say LBJ OBJ. That's the mistake you're making. He got injured. And not only were they kind of making things work, without him, but then when he came back, again, we're talking about a system where before Odell came, everyone and their mom was fighting for touches already. They were already fighting for touches, and it already was getting close because you knew you had to run the ball with Nick Chubb. You knew Kareem Hunt needed touches. You knew Njoku needed to get his touches because he's a hell of a tight end. Then you guys got Austin. Then they got Austin Hooper, and then Austin Hooper needed to get touches. Then you had some young guys who you believed in, one of them being Donovan Peoples-Jones, who they were like, okay, he kind of needed to get a couple of touches. Right. And all this is not even bringing up Jarvis Landry. So
and that's where I was going to go to. Before Nick Chubb really arrived, you saw Baker hitting Landry deep. And then the second Chubb got there is when they changed the offense completely.
Exactly.
Which doesn't make it. I hear what you're saying. Like I said, I definitely think that. I'll put it this way. I think it's enough blame to go around. And I think that the coaching staff definitely has a lot. The coaching staff definitely has a lot to do with that because as a coaching staff, you are supposed to, if you get a big time talent like that, you are supposed to find a way to make that work. That's what the great teams do. They find ways to make those situations like that work. Also, as well as the front office, because why would you go after OBJ when your objective is be a run first offense? But I still think that I'll say this. I won't give Baker the share of the blame. But I do think that he does play a part in that. I'm not saying that it's a big part, but it's still a part nonetheless. Like he's not completely absolved from blame in that situation not working.
Right, 60% to me is front office, 20 is Odell, and 20 is Baker.
There you go.
I'll do it like this. I'll do 60 to the front office. I'll do 10 apiece for Odell and OBJ, and then the rest guys will go to coaching.
That's fair.
I'm willing to compromise as long as the front office takes the brunt of it.
Right.
Because again,
they get the share of the blame for sure.
I'll go with that one, Pride.
I'll go as far as fucking 75% or 80%. And then we could divvy up the rest. Because again, you do this knowing, OBJ is not gonna fit, but we'll make him fit. How are you going to make him fit? Because now you kind of got to revamp everything in a situation where everyone's already desperate for touches.
Right. That's why I call Baker a Hollywood Mitchell Trubisky, not because of his overall talent, but because if it's a situation where you understand what him and Odell could have done together, and Matt Nagy still feeds Mitchell Trubisky saying, throw the deep ball. That's not what Mitch does. Like, why are we doing this? Let him run the ball, and you don't. You expect the same shit. You expect him to be Deshaun Watson. If you wanted Deshaun Watson, you should have fucking took Deshaun Watson. That's just how it Like it was a fucking option. Like it was something we could have be talking about right now. But thank God that didn't happen. But it's
well,
it's definitely.
Oh no, he couldn't have did that in Chicago, Mike. You know how Chicago women are. He couldn't have did that in Chicago.
I don't think he does it in Chicago. Well, look,
no, not at all.
I'll be honest with y'all. I'm gonna get some shit for this. I don't think he did it. Because if you listen to some of the stories,
they're weird.
weird. Like one girl was like, "Yeah, he did this to me," and then turns out there were witnesses, and this is the same story for multiple of them, where they're bragging to their friends about it and saying how Deshaun Watson gonna go back to them. You know what I mean? So it's weird. So some of those sound fishy.
It
Other
sounds
ones legit. You know what I mean? So like, do I think he did all of them? No.
I think I'm
I
gonna be
think
real.
he did. I think he did half. I think
For the
he did.
real,
I think he did
for the
half.
real, I think he definitely did it for the one time. He definitely did it for the one time. I think. It was
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
girl he
A
had
few of them,
been
yeah.
to,
I
same
think
girl
a
he
few
had
of them
been
kind
going
of
to.
hit.
Right.
I think a few of them he hit, and they kind of got mad that he didn't really care.
Right.
But there
I
was
think
one of them-
he forgot to pay somebody. That's what it comes
Oh no,
down to.
I'm telling you, he definitely.
That's what it comes down to.
Some
Yeah,
of them
he-
sound legit though. Some do sound legit. There was one chick who she didn't want to put her name out there at the time, but then they said you have to, and what she said, it kind of sounded legit. Now again, I can't say whether or not it was or isn't, because again, I wasn't there. But the way she was talking about it and the stuff she described, somebody with a comment said, unfortunately, with Watson, we'll never know the real truth because people want a money grab, and there's too many allegations to be coincidence. 100%. Like I don't. Yeah, there's way too many for you to be like, oh yeah, he's 100% innocent.
Right.
Mhm.
But I know there's some female, and look, it's a sad truth with it. But when a high profile athlete does this, unfortunately, there's going to be some who's just in there, not really because something happened, but a money grab. That's just
Yeah, for sure. That's facts.
You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And it's any high profile individual.
I'm the
Any high profile individual. But I will say this when it comes to Deshaun Watson. If I'm him, brother, you're gonna have to settle. Do something, bro, because
Someone's going through it over there.
yeah, bro. Look, if I'm an attorney,
Oh
bro,
yeah.
they screaming. They
Yeah,
if I know better,
yes,
someone just
yes.
yell "Free Watson" in the background. Swear to God, that's what I think. Like, yo, free my man's, yo.
Free my man.
Yo, she likes
Free my man.
He ain't do nothing. But look, man,
He innocent.
fact. But what it really what it comes
That's
down
Freddie.
to for me, when it comes to Deshaun, he's gonna have to settle, bro. Because again,
Probably.
the
Especially if he wants to play again. If he wants to play again,
that's
he's
what
gonna
I'm
have to
saying.
settle
The
for
thing
sure.
is, think about it. You already missed 1 year. Missing 2? I don't know, man. And people are gonna say, "Oh yeah, well, Mike Vick, whatever." I'm like, I understand what Mike Vick did, but that's different because he really didn't do the dogfighting. He kind of was more of like an acquaintance, or
Yeah, he was just the money. He was the bank.
not an acquaintance. What is it called? Begins with an A. When you're involved in it, but you didn't do it.
I know the
not
word. I've
know,
heard the
Jesus,
word.
what is the word? I can't
Acquaintance.
think of it now. It's not acquaintance.
It's
Affiliated
I've
or
literally heard it said to me before. Like
I've heard it too. An accomplice.
Accomplice. There it is. Accomplice.
accomplice.
As soon as I hit enter, you said
Right.
it. Accomplice. Yes,
Right.
accomplice. Like he was more of an accomplice, right? Like he really wasn't doing it, but he kind of was front. You know what I mean?
It was money laundering.
I'm gonna say this, and some people won't get mad at me when I say this, bro. But unless you look like Robert Kraft, unless you look like Ben Roethlisberger, you're not
Facts.
gonna get away with it.
Unless you look like Mike.
Even look,
Mike, but Mike, you want us?
Mike,
Mike,
let's look, Mike, you one of us. You just like Michael Jackson. You got a weird skin condition that took your pigmentation away. You one of us, dog. That's it. You one of us. That's it. I was gonna say like Sammy Sosa, but I'm pretty sure Sammy Sosa different because he was ashamed of what he was. Mike is proud of what he is. Mike
Sammy
is
wanted
proud.
to be white.
Mike is
Sammy
proud,
wanted to be
bro.
white.
But
I
I mean,
wouldn't
look,
say I'm proud, but we rock.
But look, that's just kind of a fact of it. If you don't look like Jimmy Garoppolo, if you don't look like Matthew Stafford, and you do something like this,
Peyton Manning, because if you recall, Peyton Manning had his own brush up with some sexual allegations also in as well.
say
And
that.
they all of a sudden disappeared. I'm not the messenger, so don't shoot me. But
Like, you know what I mean? Like, look, all I know is there's been a lot of
Who is the messenger?
a lot of
No, I'm not.
quarterbacks
Mm-mm.
who happen to share a lot of the same, visible features.
Patrick Kane and the Chicago Blackhawks, but hey, that's neither here nor there.
And it's not even just our sport. You feel me? And it's just doing any crime. Mark McGwire got popped, and then they have no problem putting him in the Hall of Fame. Barry Bonds can't get a look.
Talk about it.
Oh my bad, I dropped something. Facts.
Some facts.
Look, man.
I'm leaving. Goodbye. Good day.
Hey,
I'm
Andre,
leaving.
what up, bro?
Good day. You didn't just do that. I'm leaving. No.
I knew exactly where he was going.
All I'm saying, bro, this is all I'm saying, man. It's tough because Deshaun Watson's already in a situation where no team really wants to take a risk with. You know what I mean? Like, look, the only team right now who was willing to take a risk with him was Miami, and they were like, "You gotta settle." And he was just this close to getting traded. Then Miami was like, "Oh, by the way, did he settle?" And then I don't know if he never was gonna settle, and Houston just said it, or if he changed his mind. But all of a sudden, he was like, "Yeah, he's not gonna settle." And they were like, "Psych!" Like, And it was going to be a wild 3-team trade that would have sent Tua to Washington, Taylor Heineke, and some picks were going to go to.
Oh wow, that would have been interesting.
Yeah, Taylor Heineke and some picks were going to go to the Texans, and then the Dolphins would have gotten Deshaun Watson. So basically, 2 teams would have gotten a player and picks and then Dolphins just get Deshaun Watson. So that happened, and it's like, look, bro, and look, like Deshaun, you're a talent, but when you do stuff like this, man, and again, I don't know whether or not it's true. If you're telling me to use my best logic, the tail end of this comment says it perfectly. There's too many allegations for it to be a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, originally, I was defending him. I really was. But it's becoming harder because at the time, there was only a couple. And I was like, these stories don't sound right. And then there's more and more and more. And then, like I said, some sound legitimate. So it's like, I don't know, man. Like, you're putting people in a position where we have to full-blown trust you. Mm-hmm. And it's weird because it's like, all right, give us something, like talk to us. What's going on? And then supposedly when he talked to some teams, because they let him talk to teams, before he went 0-30, the answers he was giving teams weren't something that the teams were comfortable with. Like when they were asking him questions, he wasn't really saying whether or not he did it. His stance was believe what you want to believe.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and that doesn't really help either. So it's
that's the equivalent of saying I plead the fifth.
Yeah, pretty much in so many words.
Exactly. Like it's the same way because you're not clarifying anything. You're still being ambiguous and you're leaving the water murky. Last question of the night. Does Kyrie have an immediate impact when he comes back? Honestly,
I don't know.
I don't know. And the reason
because people I don't know.
And the main reason I say I don't know is I don't even know if he's gonna come back because I don't think it would be fair for him to get a special thing where he could play road games, and other teams or other players who didn't want to take the vaccine offered that, and the league said no. So you know what I mean? So in my opinion, Kyrie, honestly, I don't think he's going to make an impact because I wholeheartedly believe the Nets, at least this is what I hope they do. I think the Nets are going to say, look, Kyrie, you got 2 options. If you want to play for us, you got to get the vaccine. And if you don't want to get the vaccine, we're going to have to trade you.
But the thing is, they have to do that. Like they have to. There's no other option or no other way that they can go with that because, like I said, like Kyrie has put them in a position where he's made pretty much making them make him choose an ultimatum because, like I said, at the end of the day, the major players that we named in the beginning of the show, they all had that same ultimatum. It's either you get vaccinated or you don't, and if you don't, that's fine, but you won't play. You're not getting paid, and that's just what it is. So for Kyrie, it's got to be the same thing. It has to be the same thing because it's not fair. But I don't think he makes an immediate impact. I think he would make an impact once he works himself back into game shape. Because what I always say, when players miss a certain amount of time, there's a difference between being in shape and being in NBA game shape. That's 2 totally different things. because you got to play against stiff competition every single night. And, the Nets are a team that people have expectations of. So you're getting everybody's best shot every single night. So it's like, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I think eventually he could make an impact, but I mean, I don't know how that works because now, James hasn't been playing well. He already hasn't been playing well. So then you bring Kyrie back. How does that affect, his psyche or how he goes forward as far as his play? And then it's gonna be if he does come back, it's gonna be on the level of being inconsistent because I don't think he's gonna buck on getting the vaccine. So they're only gonna have him for a week. So it's like there's just too much. It's just too much. It's just too much.
Yeah. And like I said, you're just gonna have to sit down with him and tell him, look, man. And if he says it's not fair, be like, well, you know what? Neither is life because every other player in the league had to do. They had to make this decision. Everyone that's in a vaccine mandate county, they all had to do the same thing. Whether or not you agree with it doesn't matter. And like I said, Newton's third law of motion: for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Okay, for everything you do, there's a consequence, whether it be good or bad. And for all people saying that it's not fair, well, guess what? In order for the government to do this job, this is the trade that we do. We sacrifice some of our freedom so the government can do its job to try to protect everybody. That's just how it is. Same thing with cops. Same thing with firefighters. Like if your house is on fire, you want the firefighter knocking on the door? No, bozo. You want him to break it down to come and save you. Accident. Do you want them to go, hey, sir, jaws of life, do we have your permission? No, they're going to want him to rip that shit out so you can listen.
I wish you better not ask me for no permission. I mean,
it's the same thing as if you go to the beach, right? You don't sign anything, but the thing is, if you're drowning, let's say you're a man, right?
Or whoever,
right. That's the thing. Let's say you're a man, right? You're a man, and you're homophobic, right? You don't like gay people, right? The only lifeguard is a dude, right? You drown. Is he gonna go? He's not gonna like this. Let's let him die. No, bro. Like this is some of the sacrifice you need to do for safety. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, again, whether or not you agree with it doesn't matter. You know, like people love the government until they don't. Let's call it what it is, bro. Let's call it what it is. You know what I mean? And that's kind of unfortunate because, when it comes to the Kyrie Irving situation, it's like he wants, a different thing. He kind of wants people to be like, I want to only do this. And he expects everyone to say, yeah. And like you said in the beginning, sis, it's like, yo, everyone and their moms had to do this. How come you can just go, nah, I don't feel like it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because my thing is, if Kyrie Irving would have come out and say, nah, I don't feel like it, I'm going to go, okay, that's fine. Don't play basketball.
They don't come back. Yeah, don't come back.
I mean, listen. If you're willing to die in this hill, you want to play basketball. That's fine. That's fine. You feel me? If I go to work and I'm not in dress code and I get in trouble, is that them trying to strip my freedom? No.
Yeah, because, I didn't follow guidelines.
When you get a job, you know what I mean. You kind of gotta abide by their rules. And I could feel bad for the league because the league is catching shit when it's really not their fault. It's the local mandates that are saying, backs up, buckos.
Yeah.
The league kind of has no choice. They're kind of like, we're a business. We don't want to lose money. We don't want to do another bubble thing. Because not only is that losing us money, everyone hated it. In terms of watching, the fans hated it because the fans were like, oh, some fans were like, oh my God, I don't like it. When it came, to the players, they were like, it just didn't feel right. Like, we want, like not having our families there, like not being able to see our families. Some of them brought their families in. The families didn't like it because they're like, we could barely it. Like, no one really liked it. So teach their own. Like at this point, at this point, Kyrie just needs to make a decision. Either play or don't. And if you don't want to play, you want to say that. So that's how I look at it. Any final comments?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think you pretty much said everything, and I, kind of exceeded my point as well. But yeah, I mean, it's just, it just sucks that, you know what I'm saying, it has to be like this. You know what I'm saying? I wish that there was a way around it, but like I said, unfortunately, this is what the NBA is mandating. So if he wants to play, he has to follow those rules. It's just that simple. And I really hope that they don't budge on this. I hope that they don't, try to bend the rules or try to squeeze something in to make him feel more comfortable or anything like that. Because like I said, it's just about fairness and equality, and that isn't fair if they allow him to play, you know what I'm saying, just based off of like, oh, just away game. Like that's stupid. Even anyway, just for like just away games, like that's dumb. That doesn't make any sense. Like
none at all. And the sad part about it is they're gonna end up starting something even bigger that they don't want to start.
Mm-hmm. Because then
remember, especially the biggest one that people are gonna bring up, Andrew Wiggins. He said it was religious. About to say that. Mm-hmm. He said it was a religious reason.
So then now, man, look.
Because if you let Kyrie play, you are now starting a wildfire that the league won't.
They're gonna have a lot of lawsuits on their desk.
Not only lawsuits, but let's say another variant comes out, and they got to get another vaccine for that. You think Andrew Wiggins is gonna take it? And now you're opening up Pandora's box to everybody else, because now they can say, "Hey, yo, I'm religious. What's your religion? I'm Jewish." And now if they say prove it, I don't have to prove it to you. Now look,
they don't even have to do that, because Kyrie never said it was a religious issue. He just said
if they let Kyrie for anything, you know what I mean? I'm talking about Andrew Wiggins is gonna be like, hey,
well, you know, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying for other players as well, they can say the same thing, and it doesn't necessarily have to be religious, is what I'm saying now. Because because Kyrie never came out and was like, oh, it's because of my religion. He just said, I don't want to do it. Like that's
the thing. Like, you know, if that happened, they'll go, hey, well, you let Kyrie do it. Now imagine if a big time star did that. Imagine if Luka Doncic did that. You know what I mean? It's like, if you let Kyrie Irving play, you're kind of opening up Pandora's box. And the problem with opening up a Pandora's box, look, it's easy as fuck to open, hard as fuck to close.
That part.
That's kind of where it's gonna be. They say the booster works. They're talking about it in the second booster, and that's the thing. If you let Kyrie play, I guarantee no one's taking the second booster. You know, last comment of the night, they can't let him slide. There's too many athletes not testing positive in other sports. They've been in the public eye for a while. No chance. I don't think so either. I don't. You know, at some point you're gonna have to. You know, and again, for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. So, Kyrie, if you want to take a year off, go ahead, dog. You can always come back. You know, if you're that uncomfortable with it, go home. Don't leave the Nets hanging. Just say, look, bro, you know, I'll be back later. You know, I'll be back next year. Let's see how things go and go from there. So, oh man,
that's man.
Free Baker Mayfield, because I'm
not Free Baker.
But it's a Free Baker. I hope Odell hope he drops the ball.
Well,
he's gonna drop one pass, and then all of a sudden there's gonna be a conversation.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Man. Listen.
Listen. The instant he drops one ball,
it don't even have to be his fault. It just the fact that if he just drops the ball,
if he touches it, it's a wrap for him. It's
over with. If he even goes for it and he don't catch it, over with.
And now, good. Listen, my thing is, bro, if we're comfortable slandering Bander. My girl just texted me. I mixed my son's name with Baker Mayfield's name because my son's name is Xander. And I'm thinking about Baker. Baker sounds like Bander. I'm like, hey, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? But if we could slander Baker Mayfield this easily, I feel like OBJ could be slandered as well.
Oh, it's that's not to say that he hasn't. Like people were eating OBJ alive in Cleveland before he left. I mean, there was just as much as people that were.
Let's be honest.
I mean, no. He, like I said, he's not completely absolved the blame at all. Like he definitely has earned has earned some of that slander. But he was catching it either way because you know what I'm saying. Like whether people agree with him or disagree with him, he was getting all kinds of chatter going on. So
they've both been slandered, in my opinion. They have been. They really have been.
They definitely have been.
Baker is not the best quarterback in the world, but he's not the worst. He's a solid quarterback that knows the only problem is he needs to know his role. That's all. He just needs to understand.
He just needs to stop trying to be the hero all the time.
Exactly.
Like,
he just needs to understand we're a run-first team. This team goes as far as Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt takes us. And we'll establish it, and I'll get my wide open shots when they do that, and we utilize the play action. When that happens, that's when I look my best, right? And Odell, stop. I need to stop being a bitch. I need to understand that, I came back hurt, but it didn't work. We didn't fit, and it is what it is. Let's move on to the next day.
That part, pretty
much. That's it. But no, week 13, 5 targets, 2 receptions. I'm gonna leave that one
fine.
right there.
That's fine.
I'm gonna leave that one right there. I'm gonna leave that one right there.
But Pride, just keep that same energy. Just keep that same energy. That's all I'm saying.
Real quick, we can agree on this. None of them winning a Super Bowl, right?
Oh no. I mean, I think this is OBJ. This will be OBJ's. Yeah, this will be his best chance with this roster. But it's not gonna happen.
This is best chance. But even I don't think. I believe you can potentially win a ring with Baker Mayfield. But it's just you do need to put him in a situation where like everything is perfect. You know what I mean? Like he needs a Sean Payton type of head coach where like that they can tell him. You know what I mean? Like he needs the perfect storm, and so does Odell. Odell needs that perfect storm to be able to win the Super Bowl. So when you're a quarterback like that, I genuinely feel like you really only have a 2-year window for everything to fall right for you. You really only have a 2-year window, right? And that's basically like smack dab in the middle of your career. Like literally smack dab in the middle. Like right now, like Odell, what he came in 2014?
I think so, yeah, somewhere in there.
6, 7. So he's in his 8th year?
Yeah.
8th year. He's 29. So this year and next year are his 2 best chances to win a Super Bowl.
Yep.
Because it's the perfect storm, right?
Yeah.
Baker, how old is he? Let me see how old he is. So
I'd give him 1 more year after that though, just because
because he was on a new team, you'll give him 1 extra year.
I'll give him extra year because he was on a new team. I'll give him extra year.
So matter of fact, so we'll do this year his 30th age season and his 31st year season.
Yep. I'll give him that.
We'll do that, and then after that. He's really not.
Yeah.
And I put Baker in the same position. Well, right now he's 26. I believe his best opportunity would be him. Me personally, his 27th and 28th, potentially 29th age seasons.
Yeah.
Like for me,
I would agree with that.
Once Baker hits 30, he's not winning a fucking Super Bowl as a starter.
No.
You know what I mean? But again, for me, it's that perfect storm. So we'll see how that pans out. I'm gonna say it one more time, louder for the people in the back. Free Baker Mayfield. This has been your boy Pride. Shout out to Mike. He had a dip on us because he said no. Now he got to go handle that. This has been here holding it down, shaking my head, Michael. Shaking.
Mike, we tried to help you, Michael.
We tried. That's all that matters. As long as we tried. It's been your boy Pride on behalf of Mike and that girl Sis. We'll be back here on Saturday. See you on there. Be safe.
Show that.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays.